Are you looking for a script and what to say when an expired listing calls you on your postcard that you sent out to them? They're replying, and now you're trying to figure out, what do I say to this expired listing? If that's what you're looking for, you're in the right place. Let's talk. Hi, I'm Mike Cerrone with Two Listings Per Month. That's our channel here. And I'd like to chat with you real quickly about what would you say to an expired listing who calls in on off one of your postcards. So this is our inbound script. Inbound, the call is coming into you from an expired listing. And I'm just going to walk you through a couple of highlights here that might help out, and we'll see what you think. So here's what's going to happen. So the phone is going to ring, and I'll just walk through as though it were myself, right? Okay, and then you can substitute your own name. So here we go. The phone rings, and I say, "Hi, this is Mike." And the person on the other end of the line is likely to say something along the lines of, "I am calling about X." Okay, something off your postcard, because you're going to be offering a variety of messages and offers, and the call to action was them to call, so they called, and so they're going to say, "Hey, I want to know about X." And so here's the response. The response is, "Excellent. Hey, I'm happy to chat with you about X. And who am I speaking with?" Okay, so what we've done is we've said, "Hey, yeah, that sounds great. I'm the right person for you to talk to." That was the excellent. Happy to talk to you about X, because I am. I'm happy to chat with him about that. But before I do, I'll make sure I know who this is, so that I can follow up with them if we get disconnected or anything else happens. And besides, I also like to, as you're going to see, I like to include their name as I'm going along, if at all possible. So typically what they're going to say is, "Hey, my name is Jack." Okay, so they're going to give me a first name. And I'm going to say, "Hey, Jack, this is Mike Cerrone." Okay, so I'm going to say my first and last name now. What's your last name? Okay, so I'll say, try that again. So I'll say, "Hi, Jack, this is Mike Cerrone. What's your last name?" All right, so see how now I've told them something, and now we're kind of getting into this exchange. And now I got their last name too, which is very helpful for me to track down and figure out who I'm talking to. Now, another challenge I have is I'm sending out postcards to different groups of people, so I have to quickly understand who and what category is this person in. Okay, so that's why we're going to have the next question, which is, so they've given me their name, and I'm going to say, "Hey, cool, Jack. So I can answer your question properly. Are you selling your home by yourself, or did you hire an agent?" Okay, so that's my big question. And I'm trying to determine, of course, are they for sale by owner or an expired listing? Because I'm going to reply differently to each one and take them down a different script. This call, we're going to talk about taking them down an expired path. But I need to quickly identify and make sure I'm going down the right path with them. Okay, so once I figure that out, now I'm going to move into answering their questions. So I know I've been talking for a while, but this is actually going to go very quick, right? In fact, I'll go through that real fast for you. I say, "Hey, hi, this is Mike." And they say, "Hey, I'm calling about X." And I say, "Excellent. Happy to talk to you about X. Who am I speaking with?" "Oh, this is Jack." "Hey, Jack, this is Mike Cerrone. What's your last name?" And they're going to say, "Oh, this is Jack Hill." "Hey, Jack, that's cool." Say, "Hey, so I can answer your question properly. Are you selling your home by yourself, or did you hire an agent?" "Oh, I hired an agent before, but it didn't work out." "Oh, great. Hey, let me tell you how this program works. So let me answer X." Okay, boom. So see how quick that went? Now I'm getting right into answering the question, which is what they want to talk about. But I needed to qualify them real fast. All right, so then I'm going to answer their question about whatever the topic was, and I'm going to make that quick. By the way, I write out a little script as I'm creating these cards of how I'm going to respond to each one of these little segments in the offer that I think they may be asking about. Okay. And by the way, we're talking about like one or two sentences. And so I'm going to give them the response to that. And then I'm going to say, "Hey, let me ask you." Okay. So I'm going to transition. I'm going to pivot. In fact, that's the way I would say it. You're going to answer and then pivot. So I'm going to answer their question, and then I'm going to say, "Hey, let me ask you." And then I'm going to go down to, now that I've identified them as, again, this expired, I'm going to go into what I call my inbound expired script. The Kind of umming and on a lot today, but this is uh, the segment that talks specifically to them about being an expired. So here we go. So I say, hey, Jack, I'm curious, are you still considering offers on the property if the offer made sense? I want to make sure that they really are still thinking about selling and they didn't just call about something else. Somehow we're on the wrong track. Okay. So are you still interested in getting an offer if the offer made sense? And most of them are going to say, yeah. And if they say no, then I'm going to want to find out why. Okay. But if they say yes, then great. Now we're moving down the track. And I say, hey, good. Hey, Jack, I'm a little surprised that your home didn't sell. What kind of feedback did your last agent give you? Okay, this is an interesting question. I am curious what their answer is, and you do want to take notes. Um, I'm lining up my next step, though. Okay, so it's to me this is a transition question. In fact, I got two of them, but I'm trying to dig, but I'm also trying to transition. You'll see when we go to the for sale by owner script, it's the same kind of thing. We're taking a transition. So we're going to get them talking though about what kind of feedback did they get? And there's two important parts there. Let me go through that question again. So I say, hey, good, Jack. I'm a little surprised the home didn't sell in this market. What kind of feedback did your agent give you? So the key there is the feedback, because unfortunately, most agents do not communicate well with the seller. Okay, and that's a point of difference that I make when I talk to these expireds. And so when I ask for their feedback, one, I'm going to find out if they have heard any, okay, or if they've not. There's my point of difference. If they have, I want to know what were the buyers saying about their property, because the sellers know. The sellers know. They know the truth, whether it was overpriced or a condition problem or a location problem or whatever. They know what they're going to do is they're going to say what the problem was, and then they're going to make the excuse for why it doesn't matter, right? So you just got to listen, by the way. Do not get into an argument. I guess that's a critical point here. Do not get in an argument with the people. All right. You're just kind of acknowledging and going, okay, all right, great. And then you're moving along into the next part. So you let them tell you what the feedback was. And then the next question is, oh, okay, great. Hey, Jack, what do you think stopped the home from selling? Okay, this is another good information gatherer. And what you're going to hear typically is the agent was at fault. Okay, they're usually going to scapegoat the agent. Sometimes they don't, but often they do. They're going to say there wasn't enough marketing, or the agent messed up something in the transaction, or whatever. Something along those lines is going to come about. Sometimes they'll say it was the market. I've heard people say that, right? We missed the market timing and the transition, and because it went up or it went down or whatever. They're going to say they missed something in the market. They're going to have some kind of answer. And that's good. Take notes on that, because you're going to want to come back around to that when you're talking to them in person. But really, those two are the transitions that you're going to get to the next question. Okay, so once they tell us everything that they think is why the home didn't sell, then we're going to say, hey, got it, Jack. Hey, listen, Jack, I specialize in selling homes that other agents failed to sell. And I'm curious if you'd be open to meeting with me for just 30 minutes so I can tell you why the home didn't sell, and also share a proven plan that will cause your home to sell for the most money in the shortest time with the fewest hassles. Would you be open to that? Okay, so we are now transitioning into a meeting. I got to get face to face with the people as soon as I can, especially an expired listing, because they're likely to relist pretty quickly. So again, I'll walk through that little phrase and that script for the transition to go to the appointment, right? So, hey, got it. Hey, Jack, I specialize in selling homes that other agents fail to sell. And I'm curious if you'd be open to meeting with me for just 30 minutes so I can tell you why the home didn't sell, and also share a proven plan that will cause your home to sell for the most money in the shortest amount of time with the fewest hassles. Would you be open to that? If you listen clearly in there, there's some keywords. In fact, I say the word open twice because most people consider themselves open-minded. That's why you're using that. Other key things that are happening in here is we have a short meeting of just 30 minutes. Okay. It's not going to be this long 7-hour meeting that they're a little fearful about. We're saying, hey, look, it's just going to be a 30-minute meeting. It's going to be quick. So that's also allowing them to go ahead and accept our invitation. Also, we're hitting the primary goals of most sellers, which is to get the most money in the shortest time with the fewest hassles. So whenever you can use that into your statements, it's going to help, because that's exactly what they want and what they want to hear on the other side. So if the last part of that is, would you be open to it? And most are going to say, yeah. Okay, and they called you, right? That's the beauty of these calls and getting people to call you instead of you're calling out to them. Your conversion rate is going to be much higher. And so if they say no, then you're going to go ahead and address whatever issue you're going to say. Oh, well, what are you thinking about? Why do you not want to meet? You're just going to kind of be curious and go along with them. But most are going to say yeah. And when they do say, hey, great, I can meet you at blank, or would blank or blank be better? So like I could meet you at Wednesday at 2, or would Thursday at 10 a.m. be better for you? All right. By the way, I try to schedule everything in the middle of the day, so I'm not working in the evenings or the weekends. That's another call, but trying to schedule everything like you would be if you were a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant or another professional, right? All right. So then once you get that nailed down, you say, hey, perfect. Jack, I'm going to put you on my calendar. I'm going to send you an email with a copy of my resume so that you know what's coming. Excuse me, so you know who's coming by, and also review how my plan works. What's the best email to use? Okay, so now I've captured another piece of information, email, and it's logical. And by the way, I didn't add, and if you have questions as I'm working on this, what's your best phone number? So now I've got their name, I've got their email, I got their phone number, right? Okay. In fact, I'm going to read through that again just because I kind of botched it. But hey, perfect, Jack. I'm going to put you on my calendar. I'm going to send you an email with a copy of my resume so you know who's coming by. That's the key of why they're going to allow this to happen. And you can also review my plan and how it works. And I'm going to send that to them, by the way. What's the best email to use? Good. And if I have any questions as I'm working on this, what's your best phone number? And I've captured that. And then I'm going to say this, hey, before I let you go, I just have a few quick questions to prepare for our meeting. And then I'm going to go through my pre-qualification questions. All right. And those actually come at the end. I did ask a couple of qualifying questions in the script, but really that's a relationship builder and transition questions, because I want to get to the question of setting the appointment. Then we can go back into what's their motivation, why they're moving. Those are the qualifying questions we're going to get to in another video I'll share with you. I hope that this has helped a little bit on how you would respond or reply to an expired listing who calls in on one of your postcards. And let me know if you thought this was helpful. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And if you like what we're doing and you want to go on this journey with us, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you have questions about this script that we just put out there, go ahead and drop them into the comments section down below. And tell me, did you like what we said? Do you not like? Did something sound good? Did something sound not very good to you in your ear? Great. Let me know that down in the comment section, and we'll chat about that. Well, I hope this has been helpful, and you move along and you start to list a lot more expired listings for this. You start to set up more appointments. All right, take care. Bye now.